Cornwall is known for its world-renowned beaches, picturesque seaside towns and lively surf culture, attracting tourists all year round. However, something not considered when you think Cornwall is its active skateboarding culture. This short documentary will explore the stereotyping, prejudice and discrimination within the UK's skateboarding culture, exploring north to south along with my own perspective living here in Cornwall. I was first drawn to my local skate park, Truro Plaza, at which I've been skating for around 4 years. The skate park sits next to Truro's main gardens and is surrounded by fields and housing. My experience at Truro has been mostly positive. I often used to meet up with friends to skate here, with music playing and everyone having a good time. The skatepark community was strong and felt welcoming to new skateboarders. However, there have been various fights, vandalism, examples of offensive language, aggressive arguments and other cases of antisocial behaviour that I think reinforce negative stereotypes of skatepark activity. But does this really apply to the skateboarders? I've noticed police commonly drive around the skatepark and sometimes talk to skateboarders about certain situations, whether they were involved or not. My personal experience of Truro Skatepark may be different to other people's, however it seems to me like skateboarders are targeted for the activities that go on around Truro Skatepark, although from what I've experienced it is rarely the skateboarders, but the people who are attracted to the area due to the typical schema that a skatepark is a place to hang out, smoke weed and misbehave. This begs the question, should we be assuming the stereotypes of skateboarders are true and tread carefully when around skateparks? I decided to interview a local skateboarder for his opinion on the matter.
Yeah, well, my name's Dill Arch, I'm from St Agnes and we're at T Plaza, my local skate park. I'm 19 years old. I've always skated like most of my life, just kind of like tramp sport, get around, but probably like seriously skated for about 6 years.
Have you ever experienced discrimination within skateboarding?
Yes, well, around Truro there's obviously a lot of police and they all tend to come down here like accusing us of smoking or like vandalism, etc, etc. But most of the time they are wrong and it's just like they come down here to intimidate us or like just try and make a point which isn't really true. And so we feel like we're targeted, it's always our same group.
So from that, what do you think are some typical stereotypes when it comes to skateboarding?
Criminals, drug dealers, drug users, not nice people, you know what I mean? They make you out to be something you're not. I can understand where they get them from, because a lot of people do these things, but like they kind of make it portray that it's all skateboarders, like as a group, as a whole community. Really, it's just like a bad bunch. It does unite loads of different people, like different races, ethnicities, stuff like that. It's just skateboarding in it, and it's just like about freedom. You can do what you want, do the tricks you want to do, skate when you want to, by yourself, with people. All in all, you make new friends. Obviously, skateboarding is just becoming an Olympic sport, stuff like that. So it's being more shown through the media, etc., etc. Be on TV, not just like YouTube videos and stuff like that. And like I was mentioning clothing, like loads of people wear skateboard clothing. I think it is being expressed in a good way in the media.
With Dill's interview in mind, I asked a well-known skateboarder in Cornwall similar questions to discover a broader view.
I'm Barney Hayter from Truro and I've been skating for about 16 years.
Do you think the skateboarding community in the UK is welcoming?
I'd say generally speaking, yeah. I think particularly in the last like 4 to 5 years, I think it's become a lot more so. I think you see a lot more kind of inclusion. There's a lot more female skaters, there's a lot more kind of LGBTQ stuff, which is great. It's expanded, definitely, it feels a bit more like a community, but there's always going to be a side of it that isn't that welcoming. I definitely think it's moved in the right direction. I still think there's a lot of kind of cliches and stereotypes that come into it. You know, all the kind of antisocial, fuck the man kind of thing. You know, obviously there's still a little bit of that, but I do think that's changed over time. But I definitely think the more kind of current stereotype of skating is something that like is good for communities, and I think you see that in especially somewhere like Cornwall, where there's loads of towns like popping up parks, all that kind of thing. But I still think that stereotype prevails a lot of the time. There's also the public perception now is a bit more serious of skateboarding and actually taking it seriously.
After having these chats, I gained a better perspective of what goes on in Cornwall and their views on the stereotypes within skateboarding. It seems that they too believe that skateboarders are prejudged to fit the typically associated stereotypes and that they're not always true. The fitting cases are commonly also associated with negative traits such as rudeness, aggressiveness, and being a criminal, but these are the prejudices that we need to challenge before we assume who a skateboarder is. After visiting multiple cities in the UK, including London, Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, Bristol and Cardiff, I developed a more holistic sense of the UK's skateboarding culture. In London, I gathered the perspectives of a female skateboarder and a pedestrian watching at the famous South Bank skate park.
I'm Mimi, I'm from the Philippines.
Have you ever experienced discrimination yourself or your friends?
No, not myself, but yeah. I'm happy that personally I've never been discriminated as a skater girl.
Do you feel welcome in skateboarding as a female skater?
Yeah, I do. In the beginning, when I started skating and started coming here to South Bank, I felt, for me normally it's very hard to socialize with people, but overall I think skaters are like very welcoming. You will feel like, oh, it's their territory, but it's not really like that. I've made loads of friends that come from other countries just for holidays and they skate here, and they get along very well with everyone here, even in other skate parks. Personally, I don't care if you're whoever, you're famous, you're not, you're old, young, everyone can skate. And it's a fun thing to do, and we all hype each other up, which is great.
My name is Grace and I'm from Hastings.
Do you think that there are general stereotypes that have been created towards skateboarders?
Probably that predominantly they're male and that girls aren't as good, but I don't know if that impacts any sort of ability. I'm friends with quite a few skaters and they definitely do smoke, but not all of them obviously don't.
With your personal experience of skateboarders, do you think it's a welcoming community and do you think they're prone to be not nice people or nice people?
I think they're all probably quite nice. I've had some like quite nerdy friends and they go into the skate park and everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
The stereotypes within skateboarding are shown across the UK, and the prejudice remains strong. After doing broader research and evaluating my interviews, I've concluded that the main stereotype of skateboarders is true, but only to an extent. A large majority of skateboarders that I've met do drink, smoke weed, wear baggy clothes and generally fit the common schema of skateboarders. On the other hand, I've found that there will always be exceptions and variations to this stereotype, as many skateboarders are the complete opposite of what we may expect. As Rodney Mullen said, the beauty of skating is that everybody has a unique set of variables that they can put in place and express their individual identity in the form of greatness. Moving forward, no skateboarder should be discriminated simply for skateboarding, and the people who have unjust, negative prejudice towards skateboarders need to challenge their ideas, progressing with an open mind to push a more realistic portrayal of skateboarders today.